Hey, everybody, welcome. It's Matt Connarton Unleashed, and we are live from the studios of WMNH 95.3 FM in glorious downtown Manchester, New Hampshire. Also on Comcast 97 if you're in Manchester, streaming at WMNHradio.org, and on the Facebook, on the Matt Connarton Unleashed Facebook page. And, of course, hello to our friends at Raw Talk Online and Tomorrow Radio. Today is Monday, August 9, 2021, and I am not alone, my friends. There he is at the news desk, Mr. Mike Doyle.
How you doing, Maddie?
I'm well.
I'm kind of bummed I didn't get a little intro. You know, usually people sit here, they get a little intro music. They get a little something music.
This is only your second time
okay,
on
all
this.
right. I gotta earn my stripes.
Only your second time on the show.
Right.
Because what happens is, see, that's kind of an organic thing. After a while, if you come on regularly, which you're welcome to do, after a while, it will occur to me, something will come to me. I'll be like, that'd be a good song for Mike.
Yeah, good point.
You know, I mean...
some of those Trump parodies you have, those are classics.
Yes. I didn't think you'd want something like that, though.
No, I don't really care. People think I'm that serious. I really don't care. But,
no, I know that. I know that.
But some of those are classics.
Oh, yeah.
Where they think that stuff up.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Some of them are really good.
Some are really good. I listen, and I'm obviously a Republican, but excellent stuff.
Yeah.
They're very creative.
Yes.
And the music goes pretty good with it, too. You know, the music's always pretty good.
Yeah.
And speaking of that segue, I listened to your show this weekend. I flipped it on for a minute, and you had on...
Oh, a best of. Those are best ofs.
Yeah, best ofs. And you had on the DJ, your I can't think of his name, the tall kid that lives with you, I believe.
Oh, Christian. DJ Reckless.
You had somebody else on, but it was a band member, and that band was excellent. You played a couple of cuts, and then Christian sang after a couple tunes.
Oh.
But I can't remember who the band was, but they were excellent.
Oh, okay.
They played like a couple, 2 or 3 cuts.
I'm not sure who it was.
Yeah, it was on this weekend. But
some of those best ofs are pretty old. I got to produce some new ones. But
it was great. It was great music.
We have our first call of the week. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Ridley.
Oh, Dave Ridley of the Ridley Report. How are you?
Good.
Dave's very terse. This has been a thing lately, Mike. He's very terse.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's up? Yes. Hi.
News?
News? You have news?
Yes.
Good.
Wow.
This is how we communicate. It's very efficient. You know, economy of language. Yeah. Go ahead.
Secession?
What? Yes.
Okay, so I have an update on the tentative New Hampshire secession drive.
Okay. All right.
So
also known as NH Exit?
Yes, it's going badly.
Oh. So what a surprise.
I made a promise that I would, under certain circumstances, contact at least 15 state reps and ask each of them if they'd be willing to submit some kind of secession resolution or legislation.
You've contacted 15? Okay.
And I've passed 15 now. I accidentally contacted 19, actually.
Oh.
And I have still not received a firm yes. And most of the reps did not respond.
Okay. So it is. It's going very badly.
Actually, not. I would say I would call it one of those defeats that was worth fighting because it had a backhanded success, and that was that it resulted in an article in The Verge, of all places.
Okay. I feel like I know what that is. The Verge.
Yeah, The Verge reported on it. So that made it worth doing. It's so hard to get media now with all the deplatforming and censorship and everything that it is worth quite a bit of effort to get one article in a relatively mainstream publication. So at least people are talking about it.
Hey, Dave, my name is Mike Doyle. We've never met, and nice to meet you. But I wanted to ask you a question. Did you when you were calling these representatives, were you calling them cold, just out of the blue, like picking up the phone and saying, and kind of hitting them with the topic first time around, or did they have a warning? Did they have a warning shot that you may be calling?
It was pretty cold, but I knew them all. I think all but maybe one or two. These are people that are already familiar with me, and I'm familiar with them. And about I guess a third of them I called, and 2/3 of them I emailed. If that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah. But some of them you
So
already.
it is possible. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to ask. So some of these people you've already dealt with, obviously.
Yeah. Now I know some sales techniques. There's one that works real well for something like this, where I could use that technique to probably get 1 or 2 people to get on board.
Yeah.
But my theory is that if I would rather not. I would rather not bang my head against the wall and try and get someone to do something they don't want to do. I don't want to use pressure tactics or anything like that. If you contact 15 people one time and you're not getting anywhere, I think that just means it's not time yet.
Right. Yeah. Well, I think that makes sense. I mean, you gotta kind of choose your battles, and
You got to play the hand you dealt.
Exactly. What do you think, Mike? Do you support Dave Ridley's drive?
Are we talking succession from the United States?
Yes. Do you think New Hampshire? Do you think we would do well as our own country or entity? Yeah.
I would think not. Mainly because, well, I would think for a lot of reasons, some of the more obvious ones, but also being surrounded by other states. You know what I mean? We'd be a state in the middle of the United States. We'd be a country in the middle of the United States.
Right.
It's kind of odd.
Well, although we do have the advantage of being a coastal state, so it's not like we're landlocked.
No.
That would be really awkward.
You got Maine, you got Vermont, you got Massachusetts all around you.
I mean, if we were in the Midwest, that would be super. That would be super weird.
I missed the reason for the succession. Could somebody just give me the 30 second? Dave,
This is a little bit Rorschach. I think everyone sees their own reasons, or they don't. For me, the impetus was the crackdown on cryptocurrency users in New Hampshire, which they did not by sending people warrants for their arrest, but by coming through their front doors with tanks, right? So, and sending a drone through a guy's window. so that was for me. I think this is the moment to do it for our bunch. However, there are, of course, many other issues. The federal government takes our money and uses it to torture people. That's another big one. They occupy a lot of countries around the world. They started, 9 wars in the last 10 years, and they make it illegal to put what you want in your own body. Those are just some grievances off the top of my head, but what really matters is whether a secession drive is a useful. The real question is whether a secession drive is a useful reaction to bad governance. And I can make that case too, but I've been talking too long.
What if, though? We could become our own country, and then what if we start wars? What if we try to invade America?
Well, it's never happened with most small countries. Now there are rare exceptions, but no Norwegian country has ever started a war in the last 300 years, to my knowledge.
That is a good point. Yeah.
Switzerland's never started one. Estonia and all the small Baltic countries have never started one. Poland has even never really started one, and it's not that small, right? And they have a very rough history.
Yes.
But they were governed by fascists, basically internal fascists for a while, and yet really have never started a war. So I just, that's not much of a concern. Now there's a concern that the state could, enact authoritarian legislation and so forth, but that would take a lot of time. And imagine how much time it would take to catch up with, the federal government has at least 200,000 pages of things you can't do, a list of things you can't do that's 200,000 pages long. New Hampshire's list is only 30,000 pages long. So it would take a long time to even catch up to that.
I think, though, just to be safe, I'd want us to have a nuke. Just one. What do you think, Mike?
Yeah,
we could have just one nuke.
I'll go for 2, 3.
Two or 3. Yeah. Well, don't be greedy.
Dave, where would you go in a perfect world? You seem to know places around the world. Where would you go that has a government that you would find satisfactory? You would find.
If I were allowed to leave the United States, I might have already done so. I don't think I'm allowed to do so. I don't think I could get a passport. But
no,
my activism has crossed me off that list, I think. But if I guess the freest place in the world is probably Liechtenstein.
Oh, okay.
Well, There you go.
Yeah.
All right.
Who knew?
So the Prince of Liechtenstein, now it might not stay free, but the current governing prince has, or I'm not sure if he's on the throne. I'm not sure he can be a prince and be on the throne. Maybe they have a king and a prince, but the prince has stated that he does not believe people should be forced to pay taxes in Liechtenstein.
Oh, okay. Well, it's fun to say Liechtenstein.
Right. And there's also a joke in there
So
with the prince being on the throne.
I'm sorry.
Oh, with the prince being on the throne.
Yeah.
I was going to say there's a joke in the name Liechtenstein, but that's probably not FM friendly.
Yeah, Dave. You know what? Just from the outside.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Yeah, just from the outside looking in, it sounds like you went like in a drag race, like from 0 to 100, instead of.
It probably feels that way, but that's the way secession drives are. I actually made a video once called. The title of the video is "Secession Drives Go from 0 to 100 in a very short period of time."
No.
Yeah.
But that's what happened. In the Soviet Union, Estonia was far, far from being independent in 1985, but they were independent by 1991, and it went it's gone a lot faster in other countries, just because usually the central government makes some big mistake. I don't know. The main thing is just that, like, we need at least to have a secession movement. We don't have to have success to succeed. Quebec, with their unsuccessful secession drive, has wrung all kinds of concessions out of the central government. It's the same with Scotland. They didn't get independence, but their independent drive resulted in all these wins that they would never have gotten through the normal legislative process.
There's some tongue twisters in here talking about concessions of successful secession. I can't believe I even got that phrase out.
Here's what I say, Dave: move over the border to Vermont. And they've been wanting to do this for a long, right? You hear it every like 2 years. You hear Vermont's thinking about succeeding. So maybe you'd have more luck there because that's a state that's kind of leaning towards it.
They just want to keep all that maple syrup for themselves. Yeah. They're very selfish. Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah.
I do not believe that the Vermont drive is any further along than ours. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
They have made more progress than most states. I would say it's Texas that's actually in the lead right now.
Oh, yeah. Texas, I know, has always had a strong secessionist movement. Also Alaska. And there was another state recently that surprised me, but I can't remember what state it was. Somewhere out west. Might have been Montana. I don't know. Yeah, you might know, Dave.
But it would only take one state rep to actually put New Hampshire in the lead. If one state rep were willing to stay dedicated to this for a year-long period and without really doing very much,
right,
except answering nasty questions from authoritarians, then we would actually be in the lead because we would have legislation in front of the entire House if one state rep was actually into this.
Yeah.
And putting New Hampshire in the lead on secession would be like the most important thing that state rep did in their whole life. So I just really don't think it's a minor thing. And I'm sorry, go ahead.
That's a lot to live up to. That's a lot of pressure for someone.
It is, and yet it's not, because again, all they have to do is request the legislation and then take it off the consent calendar, or make sure it stays off the consent calendar when it comes up for a general vote a year later, or 6 months later. It's really not that much work. You might lose your seat. You might get death threats at worst, but I really doubt it, because the times have changed. Secession is a much more mainstream issue in the United States than it was 10 years ago, or 20 years ago, and even I was against it 20 years ago.
Oh,
yeah. I don't know if I'd call it mainstream though.
Yeah, that's using that term a little loosely. Yeah, I mean, I remember when I don't know if you guys remember this, when Sarah Palin was on the ticket for VP, and it came out it was a minor controversy. It blew over quickly. But it came out that her husband, Scott, was part of the secessionist movement in Alaska. He was part of some organization. And it like I said, it was brief, but some people were like, whoa, that's crazy, Yeah. But it blew over quick. But other than that, you don't really hear. I mean, it's not something you ever hear about in mainstream media, certainly.
Actually, I just did a week ago,
really?
2 weeks ago in Newsweek. They ran an article on it.
Oh,
and they said, I find it, even I find this hard to believe. They claimed that 49% of New England Democrats favored independence from the Union.
Whoa.
Boy.
I find
one
that
out of every two?
I find that hard to believe. Yeah, I'd be pretty skeptical of that poll. Wow. All right.
Well, I'm skeptical of it. That was a result of a poll that Newsweek was reporting on. But there were other numbers in that poll that were also pretty impressive gains for the secessionist faction. But this won't happen under today's circumstances because the situation is not dire enough. It will happen after hyperinflation has started.
Yeah. Well, maybe we're headed there. I mean, I certainly don't.
Maybe I should say maybe after hyperinflation has been going on for a while, because that's a historical precedent in the Soviet Union and other places.
Okay. All right, Dave. Well, very good. Anything to add on the subject?
That is all. I could talk all day, but I've talked too much.
No, you haven't talked too much. I always enjoy your calls. Please feel free to plug the Ridley Report or NH Exit or whatever you want us to know about.
Yeah. NHexit.com is where you go if you want to talk about this with other New Hampshireites.
All right. Outstanding. All right, Dave. Thank you so much for the call.
All right. Thanks, Matt.
You got it. Bye-bye.
And good to meet you, Mike.
Yeah,
You said your
same
name
here.
was Mike,
Thanks.
correct?
Yep. Thank you.
There you go.
Good to meet you.
All right, Dave. Take
All right,
care.
bye.
Bye-bye. All right, well, that opens up a line for you, 603-250-6007, 603-250-6007.
Is that a website? NewHampshireExit.com?
It's a Facebook group, which I think I'm actually in. I occasionally see notifications about it.
Don't be feeding the fire, my friend.
Yeah, I don't post anything in there or comment. I'm in a ton of Facebook groups that I don't.
That's all right, I guess, right? But just
that I don't ever comment on. I mean, some of them.
He's obviously stat riddled of any inkling of something moving towards succession. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
is a home run.
Yes.
So there was an article 2 weeks ago in Newsweek.
Yeah.
About that's not really mainstream.
You got to take these victories where you can, I guess. You know,
I don't understand how how would that work? How does that work?
I don't know. It's never going to happen.
Technically, how does it work? Say we become an independent country and then Germany wants to take us over.
Well, that's why we need the nuke, right? Or two or three. I'd want some nukes, maybe some biological weapons. Not that I would advocate for that, but I mean, if we're going to be on our own, you know, we're going to be sitting ducks. I do remember reading. This was a number of years ago. I was reading an analysis that if there's any if there's any state in the country that would be best suited for secession, it would be California, just because the way the economy is in California and the access to resources that they would have the best shot of any state in the country in terms of succeeding at seceding and doing their own thing. But I mean, it's all fantasy stuff. It's never going to happen. I mean, I appreciate Dave's optimism, and it's it's something he believes in, and he's going for it. He's advocating for it. And I think that's cool. I mean, it's pie in the sky stuff, but whatever.
Is he in New Hampshire, right?
Oh yeah.
Huh?
Oh yeah. He lives in I think Winchester, if I'm not mistaken.
Over by Keene area.
Yeah. Which he's revealed on the air, so I'm not telling tales out of school.
Oh, good for him.
But there's
other fish to fry around that may have a little more substance to them. You know what I mean? Like homeless or drug addictions or, just different things in life that you could take up a big fight for.
Yeah.
And,
others have made that observation, too, because he recently, he's the same one. I don't know if you followed this. He walked across New Hampshire as Bitcoin Gandhi.
Oh, right.
That's
I
the
heard
same.
something about that.
That's the same guy, which caused some controversy on this show, actually, because Dave was calling as the Bitcoin Gandhi character and the voice and everything. And I got some pushback from some listeners about it. Some of the listeners felt it was racist. I argued that it was not, because I felt that because he was doing it in honor and tribute of Gandhi. He wasn't doing it to make fun of Gandhi or to make fun of Indian people, certainly.
This day and age, I can understand why they're thinking that.
Yeah.
I can understand every little thing, which is like one thing I want to talk about, like communication. This day and age, and how communication is. You think it's broken down because of Facebooks and the Instagrams and TikToks and all these things that. Do you think we less one-on-one solving problems? I was thinking about it this weekend. I was out to dinner at the beach. And I was with another couple, Manchester couple, talking.
Not a foursome.
Started not a foursome.
I won't play the drop.
Thanks. and something came to me. What do you think would happen if we just dropped D's and R's and I's from the names of political people?
Well, I would love it.
What would happen if they had to talk with each other and to work things out for the best of, in our case, our representatives should be looking out for New Hampshire, right?
Yes.
We all send there but R's vote with R's, D's vote with D's.
Right.
I's jump on where they want to jump on, and nothing gets done. And it's kind of odd. You know what I mean? It's kind of it's the communication thing is kind of broken down.
Well, I think that I talk a lot on the show about how, and I'm an independent, and there's many, many reasons, but one of them is I have such a loathing for this binary two-party duopoly that we have in this country. And I think, part of it, too, is people, they choose a herd to run with, and then you don't really have to know anything about the issues. You just need to know, are you supposed to vote for an R or are you supposed to vote for a D? So people abdicate any responsibility for knowing anything. But I also think that, that two-party duopoly, it controls everything ultimately because, politics is a business. And, the two parties raise tremendous amounts of money. Because they're really in cahoots in a way.
Right. Which could be a problem.
Yeah, because both parties raise tremendous amounts of money fighting the other party. And that's so, it's all kind of a racket, really. And it drives me nuts. But also, too, because we have this duopoly, I talk a lot on the show. You've probably heard me use the phrase binary thinking, where people think people are all in or all out. No one wants to apply nuance to issues. I feel like I wake up every day in a world that is very complicated with very complex and complicated problems that are going to require some complex and complicated solutions. Yeah. But people are just so, it's either
dug in.
Yeah, and we either need a completely liberal solution or a completely conservative solution to every problem, and everything is so simple. But in terms of how people want to look at things, but it's a very complicated world. And I'll just use a quick example: immigration. It's very easy for people to say, "Oh, build a wall." Now, I don't, and you might not realize this, but I'm not reflexively opposed to building walls. We have a right to build walls on our borders. But there's other things about the immigration system that are complicated. The whole thing needs to be overhauled. The biggest reason for illegal immigration, the biggest root cause of it in the United States is people overstaying their visas. So obviously that's something we need to address.
Sure.
There's all kinds of complex issues that need to be addressed, but that doesn't look good on a bumper sticker or a T-shirt, or doesn't make for a good chant. Comprehensive immigration reform doesn't roll off the tongue like build that wall does. And that's just, and we've actually, you and I had a conversation, one of your calls one day into the show about abortion, because I was talking about how, look, it's not everything is so simple. And I see an opportunity for pro-life people and pro-choice people to work together to, improve access to birth control and things like that. And you could actually reduce, if you begin to look at the issue in a nuanced way, you could actually really bring down the level of abortion in this country without, outline it or anything like that. And I remember you called when I was talking about that, and you also had some thoughts on it that were very nuanced. But everybody's dug in all on one side or all on the other, and so nothing gets solved.
But again, communication, the narratives change. Mm-hmm. Some people think the wall is for slowing the trafficking, slowing the drugs, and trying to herd everybody to come through the front door.
Right.
Come through. We want to know who you are.
And I'm not opposed to any of that.
Right. That's kind of the theory from the right side, or that's the way I look at it. Mm-hmm. And then there's other people say it's inhumane, it's this and that. And, so you understand both sides, but it's just they both take their, just like Dave Ridley, he takes his to the umpteenth degree. Mm-hmm. Everybody else does, Republicans, Democrats, and the problems aren't getting fixed. You know what I mean?
Well,
That's the problem.
It goes back to the business part of it, I think, though, because if you're Republicans, you can raise a lot of money, you know, going out, doing campaign rallies, getting people to chant, build that wall. You can raise a lot of money with that. On the other hand, if you're a Democrat and you're going out saying, you know, look, they just want to build walls and keep everybody out and deport everybody, you can raise a lot of money with that, you know. So it's there's much more money to be raised, to be made, much more profit to be gained from approaching things in this sort of dumbed down, hyper-simplified way than there is in actually rolling up sleeves and doing the hard work and really figuring things out. You know, it's like you ever have somebody ask you a question and they want a yes or no answer, but you can't give them a yes or no answer because it's not that simple, but they so desperate, and you try and you start to answer them and you start giving them full sentences and they go, no, I asked you a yes or no question. And it's like, okay, well, sometimes simple questions have complicated answers, but I feel like we live in a culture that expects everything to be simple. But we have a call. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Hopwood, show ass. 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 Hopwood, show ass.
Are you hyperventilating at the thought of John Hopwood? That's a dreadful.
Do you know who this is?
I have an idea. Yeah. Well, John Hopwood. Look, can I just let's just say it. John Hopwood is a sex symbol, is he not?
Yeah, I don't know if I. Well,
I mean, he was. Look, John Hopwood.
It doesn't matter.
John Hopwood was People Magazine's sexiest man alive in 1958. A lot of people don't know that. And this is clearly...
Hopwood.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
We want Hopwood.
Well, don't we all? I mean, well, I don't, but I don't lean that way, if you know what I mean. But you do. I understand.
We don't care. We want Hopwood.
He'll be back. He'll be back. Perhaps he has heard your clarion call. I genuinely don't know what that sound is, though. And I'm not sure if I want to know.
I think it's a.
Is it like
a red flag towards me? I believe. Hopwood sitting here instead of me.
We want Hopwood.
That's what I'm thinking.
Oh. So he wishes you were John Hopwood.
Show ass.
Well, we can't. You can't do that on FM radio. Well, I mean, it is radio. It's theater of the mind.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right. Oh, and Braden Russell is in the chat room and also says we want Hopwood. Perhaps that's who's on the phone.
We do want that.
Yes. Well, no, I understand.
Show it.
I can't.
It.
It's not mine to show. We need Hopwood here for that.
We do. Show it.
We need.
You want it.
Would you settle for virtual John Hopwood? Because virtual John Hopwood.
Where is it?
Well,
where is it?
Where's virtual John Hopwood?
Where is it? We want it.
I think he's here. Hang on.
Oh, about 7 or 8 inches.
Yeah, virtual John Hopwood is here. Will you accept that?
Is he?
Yeah, he's right here.
We love it.
I don't know who that is, and I don't care.
Yeah, see? You can have a whole conversation with him if you'd like.
Jeez, how much dope have you smoked? I mean, hardy, right?
Yeah.
My God.
I mean, it's not the real thing, but it's...
Where's Hopwood?
Well, it's
Hopwood does have some classics.
He does.
Yeah.
He does. Yeah.
I mean,
Dude,
it's
you
not
said
funny.
you got Hopwood.
It's
Where is he?
nothing.
Well, we have virtual John Hopwood. I don't have actual physical human John
he's a
Hopwood.
phony.
Well, he's not a phony. He's just...
If intelligence was electricity,
fake.
this guy couldn't spark
Come
a
on, man.
firefly's
Is it
ass.
fake?
I mean, that is real virtual John Hopwood. He's not fake. He's just virtual.
Can you show me?
Well, no.
I'm not an imbecile.
I can't show you. He's a voice. He's a disembodied voice. He's not an actual organism who's
I
here
want to
with
see
us.
Hopwood, okay?
Well, I mean,
I want to see Hopwood.
well, we
I want
all
to see him right now.
we all do. I mean, it's.
Just hang up.
No, I can't do that, virtual John. That would be rude.
Dude, I want to see him right now. Wait,
He'll be.
we're waiting all day.
I know. Mike Doyle is here. Would you like to see Mike Doyle? He's
Hey,
here with us.
Famous statement: John
No, I
Hopwood
want to see
is not
Hopwood, and I
walking
want to
through
see
that
now.
door.
I'm sorry.
Oh boy. Well, I'm
I don't
sorry.
want to see him.
No. All right. Well, I'm sure he'll be here sometime this week if you tune in every
Better be.
day. But you have to tune in every single day
Better be.
because if you don't tune
I'm
in,
calling in tomorrow. Okay?
call in tomorrow. We'll see
I
if
want
he's here.
Hopwood.
I know. All right. Well, we'll see what we can
I'm
do.
calling in tomorrow.
Call in tomorrow. I'm going to let him know.
I'll call in twice.
You okay?
With my phone, my dad's phone, my mother's phone, my grandma's phone,
Uh-huh.
my dad's phone. I'm calling in.
Well, you don't. If you're calling in twice, you'll only you can actually call in twice from the same phone. You don't need all these different phones.
Oh,
Yeah. You can. I mean, you can call. It's not like. I mean, unless you're in the
You can be
mafia,
right.
you don't need like a burner phone. You can just call in on the same one. Yeah, that's fine.
oh, really?
Yeah.
I know. I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's up to you how you do it.
I bet you Hopwood taught you that.
We don't discuss the mafia. There's no such thing, actually. I don't know if that's what you meant.
I said Hopwood.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I get
Sir,
confused.
What the hell are you thinking about?
Is that Ryan Gorman?
I just get confused. No, it's not Ryan Gorman. Stop.
Sir, Jesus.
You could probably
I said
pull off
Hopwood.
a sitcom with Hopwood.
You think so?
Yeah,
Or
if you followed him around.
a sitcom? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's kind of like George from Seinfeld.
Right,
Yeah. Or Steinfeld, as
Right.
Joel likes to say.
right. George Vandelay.
Yes. There you go. Vandelay Industries.
Who,
Yes.
Hopwood?
No.
No.
George from Seinfeld. Mike Pelopita in the chat room says he can call from a payphone if he can find one. I don't know if you have a payphone near you.
Why would I do that?
Well, just
Mike is an idiot.
Oh, well, now, just to be clear, he was referring to Mike.
on, Mike.
Well, what are you going to do? I mean, he's just he's trying
Does
to be
Mike know
helpful.
Hopwood?
Is Mike what?
Does Mike know Hopwood?
Oh, we all know John Hopwood. He's famous.
Oh, I know him.
Well, I know.
Actually, I want to know him.
Well, you want to know him better, it sounds like. But yeah, he's not here. He's not here.
Yeah, I want to know him, but you're
Well-
just holding him back.
We'll call back tomorrow, and call back tomorrow twice, but from the same phone.
I am calling back tomorrow.
Take it easy on yourself. Just use the same phone.
You take care of Hopwood, okay?
Okay, I will.
Okay. I'm calling back.
All right.
Don't block me. I'm calling back.
Don't worry. All right. Bye-bye. Okay.
Did you catch when you said, hey, tune in this week? He'll probably be on one day this week. And the guy goes, better be.
Well,
Better
I mean, it's like he's pining for John Hopwood.
Yeah.
He needs
Not a bad little skit. He was consistent.
a skit. I think he was very sincere.
You think so?
I think he was very sincere. John Hopwood is very popular around here. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Hi, this is Brandon calling from Portland, Maine.
Oh, Brandon from Portland. How are you?
This is a serious boycott of the show. We will not watch the show until Hopwood appears.
Well, that's disappointing. We have virtual.
Oh my God, I'm so devastated.
We have virtual John Hopwood here. Is that good enough?
Although, if Mike Doyle would prefer to show us his posterior region, that would do.
Oh, I don't think we can. We'll get kicked off of Facebook. Plus, Mike's very modest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Facebook could shut
Right.
down. Never mind. Jesus.
But we will continue to bombard the show and call about the subject everyone knows about. It's not a touchy subject.
Wow.
It's the subject that everyone's talking about.
Uh-huh.
We
What?
gave him something to talk about, and it's John Hopwood.
Well, I don't know if everyone's talking about it, but yeah.
How about Dave Ridley? Is Dave Ridley?
They named a restaurant in your city after him. I mean, for God's sake.
They did?
He did?
The
Hey.
Hop Knot.
Oh, the Hop
Wow.
Knot. Yes. That's right. Our wonderful sponsor, the Hop Knot. They have delicious gourmet pretzels. They have craft beer. They have Grant Lampton on Friday nights. That's a good segue into our sponsor there. That was excellent. Thank you, Brandon. Are you sure you're boycotting the show? Because you kind of helped me out there with that.
Hopwood, show ass. Hopwood, show ass. Hopwood, show ass.
It's catchy. It's catchy. Oh, boy. Everybody wants their John Hopwood. I'll tell
When
you.
you mentioned restaurant, I thought the first thing I thought of was back room. I don't know why.
Oh, really?
But I was thinking, but
Yeah.
they all want to see ASS,
Yeah. I'm embarrassed that I didn't get it right away. The Hop Knot.
Yeah.
I didn't. I was a little slow on that. I feel bad.
What's up with Hoppy? What's the story there?
Well, he comes and goes. Some weeks he'll be on like 3 times in a week, and like weeks and weeks will go by and I won't see him at all. We have a call. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Hey, yeah, I'd like to make an order for pickup.
What would you like?
Yeah, I would like a thin crust with plenty of sauce, though. And can I get this one with extra John Hopwood?
That's our specialty.
Oh, yes. All right. Let's be for pickup. I'll be there in 30 minutes.
Okay, we'll see you then.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Wow.
Oh, what am I going to...
Hoppy started a revolution.
Yeah, you know what, though? I just realized something. I really kind of messed up just now. Because now...
You don't have thin crust?
Yeah, I don't have thin crust, and I have to figure out a way... Even if I had the thin crust, I don't have John Hopwood to put on the thin crust.
Good point. Good point.
Plus, I don't know with health codes. I don't know if you can even actually put John Hopwood on a thin crust. I don't know if that's
now Hoppy would
allowed.
If Hoppy was a true friend, right? Wouldn't he come by?
He would come by, and he
sooner
would,
rather than later.
Yes, and he would get on the thin crust, and I could serve him. Oh, we have a call. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Hey, it's Charles Richardson. What's going on?
Charles Richardson from the Charles Richardson Show in Florida. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing good. I actually, you know what? I know everybody's on the hob.
Apparently,
so I'm going
yes.
to try to see if I can steer away from the hob more toward the knob. I mean, I know that's what those people that walk the streets would say. But
the
I actually seen
the hobnobbing, as Crazy Joe calls it. Yes.
Yeah. So I actually came across an article from up there in New Hampshire. Apparently, there's this dude called River Dave. He's been squatting at a what do you call those things? Log cabins.
Yeah.
That's on a privately owned yard for like 27 years.
Yeah.
Just keeping to himself, completely under the radar. And they went ahead and arrested him just recently.
Yeah.
They arrested him because he was trespassing. His log cabin got burned down after he got arrested, which is kind of suspicious to me if you ask. But it's like this guy was like living the life. I mean, he grew his own vegetables, his own food. He went ahead and chopped his own firewood. The guy's 81 years old, and he was just over there, just quietly living. He went in front of the judge and said, "I will release you, but you can't go back to the cabin anymore." He says, "You know what? Keep it. You have all my possessions. Keep them. I don't care. I'll sit here until I rot." What do you think of that? I mean, that's kind of cool, living off the grid, number one. And I just think I admire him for standing up for, even though it wasn't his, and obviously legally, the judge did everything he was supposed to. But I got to give it up to him.
Yeah, I mean, he's a hardy individual. Have you been following that, Mike?
I have.
River Dave?
I have. And I don't think the burning down of the cabin is suspicious at all. The people obviously wanted him off, right? He wasn't hurting anybody, but he was on private property.
Right.
And they gave him so much warning, all the stuff you're supposed to do to get a squatter off your land.
Yeah.
Does it make it right or wrong? Could they have come up with a deal and said, "Hey, listen, can we move you down the river a little bit? Can we help you with a place here?" I didn't hear any of that.
Right.
But they may have. But the bottom line is, once he was physically removed from the site, the cabin burned down. I'm going, wow, you know who did that?
Yeah.
The people that kicked him off. I mean, come on, let's not.
Yeah, most likely.
Right. I'm not saying they did. I'm just saying that's where the arrow would point.
Unless River Dave burned, is it possible that River Dave burned it himself to collect the insurance money?
No, he was in jail.
Oh,
no,
that's
he
right.
didn't own anything. He didn't own anything.
I
He didn't
know.
own it. He was
I
Oh, you're being.
I was kidding. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? Isn't like staying at a place of residence kind of like a common law marriage? After you stay there so many times, you own it or something.
Well,
or
I
am
know.
I like completely way off there?
Well, there's squatting where you just kind of occupy a place. I've never been clear on what any of the laws are around that, though. But this guy was there for 30 years, wasn't he?
Yeah, 27, I think.
27 years, yeah. Yeah. So I don't know if they just all of a sudden decided they didn't want him there or what. But, I mean, you would think they would have been friends with him, you know. I mean, who wouldn't want to be friends with someone named River Dave, you know? Who wouldn't be friendly and accommodating?
Well, I mean, that's not his real name. That's what he goes by with all, because apparently this cabin was on a river, and there's a lot of people that were kayaking by.
Yeah.
And he made a lot of acquaintances by that. So they all call him River Dave.
Yeah.
Obviously, his name's actually not completely different, by the way.
Yeah.
David Lindstone.
Lindstone, yeah. But you know, I mean, who wouldn't want to have a friend, River Dave, you know?
Yeah.
Well,
I know, right? Like I said, he wasn't harming anybody. You know what? Obviously, that cabin never got used. So it's like, why not just let the dude stay there?
Yeah.
He's already almost, you know, he's almost older than dirt anyway.
True.
Just let him stay.
I read an article about this, and one train of thought is the company didn't want the expansion of homelessness to make its way to their land. Hence, he's there without any rights. You know, why couldn't everybody else just go join that band? And so that was one school of thought. I don't know if it's right or wrong, but
horse poopy.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
Yeah, but apparently a lot of people have stepped up and donated and are trying to help him out.
They did.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were like trying to, but they said even if they could find a loophole, apparently the cabin doesn't have any access point. So it's like, I guess there's a law that you can't make that a residence because there's no access point.
Okay.
So it's just weird. But I thought I'd share it with you since it was happening literally in your neck of the woods.
Yes, yes. Do you know anyone who lives in a cabin in the woods down your way, Charles?
No, but I used to know of a man who lived in a van down by the river.
Ah, yes. The van down by the river. Yes.
You guys take care.
All right. Thank you for the call, Charles.
All right, see you later.
Take care.
Yep.
That is Charles Richardson from The Charles Richardson Show, which you can hear online every Wednesday and Friday night from 7 to 9 p.m. on Raw Talk Online and IPM Nation and the Charles Richardson Facebook page. So
yeah, so see, that's the communication thing we were talking about.
Yeah.
What changed from last year to this year with him? And we're getting all these different thoughts and all these different, but the company must have a reason. You know what I mean? There's got to be a reason. And maybe they've been looking at this for a year or two. They gave him warning.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's right or wrong. He seemed harmless. He seemed like a nice guy. And but I don't know.
Yeah.
You got to hear the facts. You know what I mean? You got to hear the facts.
That's right. Yeah. It says here, according to, this is from Yahoo News. I was just kind of scanning it while we were talking to Charles. It says, Lidstone said the prior owner gave his word years ago that he could live there, but had nothing in writing. That's always a mistake. Yeah, so I guess.
Do you see the picture of the fellow? He looks like right out of ZZ Top.
Yeah, he does. He really
got a great
does.
beard.
Yeah. Yep, 81 years old. Yeah. Well, you know, a lot of people are helping him, so it sounds like he's gonna, you know, he's gonna be okay. But yeah.
Yeah, they'll start a GoFundMe page and.
Right.
He'll get a little apartment or something, but he's just a woodsy guy, I guess.
I guess so. I mean, could he just go live in the mountains like Grizzly Adams or something?
Yeah, I don't think it had plumbing and stuff either. So
yeah,
that becomes another whole
right.
Becomes another whole question.
The sanitation question of it. Yeah.
We were talking about, not to change subjects, but we were talking about needles, getting the shot, and I went to Kentucky in April. And I met a couple guys from Kentucky, and you want to talk about Trump-loving, not getting the shot because they're trying to spy on us, never going to get the shot.
Oh, God.
Oh, it was brutal.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize you go to certain regions, it's that bad. I mean, it's bad.
Yeah.
So I know this guy who decided to, he lives in a trailer versus living in a house. He was an electrician all his life.
Yeah.
But that's just, I don't know. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
He likes being off the grid.
Yeah.
You know?
I couldn't do it.
Everybody needs who doesn't need a good bathroom?
Right.
just to take a shower, right?
Yeah.
Go
Yeah.
do your due diligence. And,
Yeah. And internet. And,
internet. And
I wouldn't even like living out in the woods, like out in the country. Like I have to be in a city.
Yeah.
I have to be, especially in the winter. I think it would be dangerous for me to live in an isolated place in the winter with my depression. When you've got the limited sunlight and everything, I think it would, I mean, I'm not saying I'd kill myself or anything, but I'm not saying I wouldn't. Just the isolation of being out in the woods, it would be very, very hard.
Does that depression come and go? Does that come and go?
Yeah, I mean, it's not constant, but it's always, it kind of looms in the background, and it does get a little bit worse in the winter because, the lack of sunlight and whatnot, I think affects it. But.
Yeah, for the first time in my life, I experienced depression.
Really?
Like in a bad state.
Oh.
For only about a week.
Yeah?
But I knew it. You know what I mean? I could tell. I go, this is not me. I was just totally off the charts.
Wow.
But I had just finished a job, a long career. I retired, COVID. It was just a whole combination of things. And all of a sudden, I'm like, I got nothing to do. And I started feeling the thoughts and things, not sleeping well and just being, I don't know. It's like you're in a bubble and you just can't move. It's like, holy cow.
That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah. It's just like, I'm pretty sure, I had a physical. I told my doctor, he goes, yeah, that's symptoms of depression.
Yeah.
But at least you knew it. And, I knew it. And
you recognized it.
I was able to fight through it.
Yeah. No, that's good. Yeah. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Hi, Matt. Hi, Mike.
Hey,
this is Ron.
Hey, Ron.
Mike, I've listened to you on the radio so many times, and to hear that you ever experienced depression is kind of hard to believe because, I mean, obviously depression strikes people all sizes, shapes, colors, everything, and you never know who's suffering from it. But you seem to be the most holly jolly guy and peaceful and down to earth. And wow, to hear you say that you experienced it, because I experienced it. And 3 weeks ago, when I went to my primary care doctor, he sat me down and he said, "Look, Ron, I want to put you on depression drugs." And I said, "Look, I don't need drugs. I'm already got my own problems." He says, No, these aren't drugs. You could quit anytime. They're not addictive, and they work great. Well, to make a long story short, he gave it. I got him that same day. I thought I felt something, and then the next day I absolutely felt something. It's not a high. It's not even something that you can explain. The depression seems to not be there. That's the best way I can say it. So, but I couldn't imagine for the life of me that you would ever experience it.
But I don't think
and Matt, too, you seem like a high stress guy, so I could kind of understand it on your side. But Mike, no, I would have never guessed it from you.
I don't think it takes shape or form into where it attacks, right? I mean, you just, it was just, I worked 25 years helping this business develop. And I was fighting the Boston elevator unions head on. It was me against them. And I took them on, and I 70 hours a week and made great money and, kids educated. It's all good. But then it came to
What did you do?
Then I sold elevators and handicap lifts to make buildings accessible for handicapped people. And most of our business was in the Boston area. I did most of the churches in Boston. I did Boston City Hall. I did all the universities, Harvard, Boston College, MIT, they all call me. Anyways, and then to just have it stop.
Yeah.
And then COVID. Then I got COVID. All of those combined. And then where's my life? I'm not working 70 hours a week. I don't know. It just all piled up. It wasn't anything bad, but it just piled up. And I was in this whole different place. And I got all bummed out. I didn't. Yeah. And I wasn't in a bad spot financially or anything. I was just bummed out.
Yeah.
And it was the weirdest thing. I went to the beach. I was sitting by the beach alone. I was just sitting there looking out going, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
And so I explained it to my doctor, and he goes, you had a little, things changed. Your whole life changed. You had an avenue, and you just took a hard right turn. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Things happen.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's whether you're rich, poor, happy, jolly. I think it can strike anywhere.
Oh, absolutely.
And now that you feel it,
absolutely.
Now
I mean, much to my surprise, but yeah.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't think of you as a candidate.
Oh, well, I don't know. I don't know what a candidate is, but
yeah, I mean, anybody can.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I think everybody experiences depression at some point during their lifetimes, but for probably a lot of people, maybe even most people, it's if something traumatic happens to you, maybe you lose a loved one or something, and then it's situational. But then there's also that kind of depression that, like what I deal with, where it's just a chemical imbalance in the brain that everything could be going great, and then just all of a sudden, like for me, I'll just get a feeling of doom, man, and there could be no logical reason for it. Just all of a sudden, just everything just feels hopeless, and it's like this dark cloud that just kind of appears, and it sucks.
How long does it last?
For me,
on average, if you had to, like weeks, days, a couple days, weeks.
On average, probably a couple days.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had it where it's a day, and I've had it where it's dragged on for weeks.
Are you able to tell yourself? I was able to do this. Are you able to tell yourself, I know I'm depressed right now?
Oh yeah. Now I can.
Right.
There was a time, maybe even as little as 10 years ago, where I was kind of in denial about it. I didn't want to admit to anybody, even myself, that that's what was going on.
Yeah.
Now I'm pretty, a lot of the stigma has been removed. People are much more open about it these days. So we've progressed culturally in that regard. So now I have no problem admitting it and acknowledging it. But there was a time when I would really try to hide it,
Sure.
Other people around me could
and
tell.
That's probably doesn't help.
Exactly.
That's probably feeding it.
Exactly.
Trying to hide it.
Just stuffing it down.
So how many people can't see that they're depressed and fight their way out of it, and then go to harm or go to drugs or go to whatever circumstances that they really didn't want to do, but I don't know. So it's definitely a thing.
Yeah.
and kind of until you experience it from the outside, I hear it and I understand it and I say, yeah, and I can see how people be there, but until you actually feel it, then it's a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
It's a whole different ball game. But anyways.
And you were able to distinctly tell the difference between, because obviously you've been sad, but you were able to tell, like, this is different. This is not being sad. This is something else. Yeah.
Sit there and go, what's wrong in my life that I'm depressed? And I'm going, this is good. This is good. This is good. Kids are good, right? Healthy, just what everybody wants. Healthy kids and healthy life and some semblance of dough, whatever. And so I don't know. Yeah. Then you're just sitting there going, why am I like that? What is going on? And it's just like a cloud. You're right. Like a cloud or a bubble. It's like,
yeah.
Yeah. But thank God it broke.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So. All right, Ron, anything to add?
No. Just it was great to put that 2 cents out and listen to somebody else speak about it, because it's real.
Yeah.
It's a real thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, Ron, thank you so much for the call,
Good
my
night.
friend. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Yep.
Bye.
Yeah.
It's another whole discussion, for another day.
Oh, yeah. But it comes up a lot, especially now, because I think, I think the pandemic, brought a lot of people down, and for a lot of people, there's an irony to this with me, is that I'm an introvert. So for me, like, kind of I was never cut off from people, obviously, coming in and doing the show and still communicating with people, but I didn't have that same, a lot of people get depressed when they feel like they're isolated and sequestered from the rest of the world. But being an introvert, I didn't really have that, because I don't have that drive to socialize necessarily with a lot of people. I just don't. I like to. I'm not antisocial. Sometimes people confuse being an introvert with, oh, what are you, anti? No, not at all. I just, I like people, obviously, or I wouldn't do this. But, but I wasn't affected that way. But a lot of people, I think, because of the pandemic, there's a lot of people who experience depression for the first time in their lives, because the isolation was very difficult for them.
Yeah. There's plenty of politicians who said it's a crime that when we're giving out the children's numbers and school numbers, that we're not including child depression and child, you know, the things that happen to the kids that have fallen so far behind with
Yeah.
this pandemic and,
Oh, yeah.
you know, just mentally.
Yeah.
That can't think about third, fourth, fifth graders. They can't handle this.
Right.
They're used to a rhythm. Go to school, get dropped off on the bus. I like my teacher. She teaches me the ABCs.
Yeah.
You know, all of a sudden I'm home and, you know, my daughter's a teacher. She says it's torture trying to teach kids if you really care about teaching them.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're playing underneath the video of the thing. They're playing. You can hear the game.
I've
you know what
heard
I
all
mean?
kinds of stories.
You can hear the games being played and stuff.
or you got kids falling asleep.
or whatever. And it's just torture.
It's got to be tough. Yeah.
No doubt.
It's got to be so
and it's tough on the kids. They fall behind too, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's the most important part. When you and I are in a nursing home, those kids are going to be in charge of us.
Yeah.
They're going to be running this country.
Right.
So
that is the future, yeah. Well, we're at the top of the hour, so we'll take a break. I'm going to play a song, and we'll show some love to our sponsors. I should mention, too, and congratulations to Peter White on the morning show. We got to hang out with Peter a little bit before the show. He announced this morning on the morning show a brand new sponsor here at WMNH, Adored Wi-Fi. They don't have a commercial yet that they've given us, but they will. But a brand new sponsor here at WMNH and of the morning show, adoredwifi.com is the website, and they are providing high-speed internet you'll love with a connection you can trust, now available right here in Manchester, New Hampshire. So welcome to the WMNH family, Adored Wi-Fi. Very cool. And, of course, we have all these great sponsors here at WMNH, the Hop Knot, in the Brady Sullivan right across the street. Don't go there today because Monday and Tuesday is their weekend, but they sponsor this program and WMNH. And, of course, we have Mike Pelopita from Queen City Cabinetry in the historic Sunbeam Mall. And, of course, the OG of WMNH sponsors, CGI Business Solutions. They've been with us from the very beginning. But welcome, Adored Wi-Fi. Very exciting, and things continue to grow here. And by the way, if you're interested in sponsorship or you know someone who is and would like to participate, shoot me an email. Matt@mattconnerton.com is the easiest and quickest way to reach me, Matt@mattconnerton.com. And it's easy to remember. And let's talk. But Mike Doyle is here with us. We're going to take a break. And we will be back with hour number 2 of Matt Connarton Unleashed. And hey, who knows? Maybe the real John Hopwood will pop in. Maybe part of him was tingling, and he said, "Oh, I'm needed down there." Anyway, we'll be right back.
I'm taking my hat off to you. You got me.
Welcome back, everybody. We are into hour number 2, numero dos of Matt Connarton Unleashed. And we are live from the studios of WMNH 95.3 FM in glorious downtown Manchester, New Hampshire. Also on Comcast 97 if you're in Manchester. Streaming at WMNHradio.org. And on the Facebook, on the Matt Connarton Unleashed Facebook page. Hello to our friends at Raw Talk Online. And Tomorrow Radio. Today is Monday, August 9, 2021. I forgot what day it was for just a half second. I was up unusually early. And Mike Doyle is here with us at the news desk.
What's going on there, Matthew?
You got some papers over there. What are you, Easy G? You going to do an entertainment?
No such thing.
Easy G apparently has purchased a tablet. Can you believe it?
Not Tabletgate again.
You
not get out. I heard that all last time.
Yeah, you didn't know about this? No, for real. I'm not even kidding. He bought a new tablet.
Oh,
he got a tablet, and he's.
Why didn't he take the free one?
I don't know.
Too much controversy.
I guess so. Well, he gave us that wonderful scandal by giving it away and whatnot. Tablet.
Maybe he's getting some money behind the scenes that you don't know about.
Oh, he could be getting sponsorship money.
Money that we don't know about.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. He's a big star. He's a big celebrity.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's going to do his entertainment report on Friday this week, and supposedly he's going to have his new tablet with him.
You know who introduced him to the radio networks, right?
I do.
Yeah.
That's right. That's
many
right,
years
everybody.
ago.
That's right.
He came on Bear and the Big Guy with.
We have Mike
After Further
Doyle.
Review.
We have Mike Doyle to thank for Easy G's stardom.
Really.
You gave him his start.
Yeah, same with Mikey Martineau.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, Martineau came on our show a couple of times way back when, 10, 12 years ago.
Oh, I'll be damned. So that show, so it was called Bear and the Big Guy?
Yeah, After Further Review with Bear and the Big Guy.
Okay, gotcha.
Bill Crosdale growing up, his name was always the Bear.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, his nickname.
And that was on Channel 23,
23, yeah.
For how many years did you do that?
10 years.
Okay.
10 plus.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
we had a good run.
Yeah.
We had some good people on. We had some funny stuff, a little bit of everything. But
why did it end?
Obligations when Phil became Waterworks director.
Oh, okay.
A lot more time consumed doing
Yeah.
that job. So we kind of had to, that was kind of the end of it.
Yeah, it makes sense. Plus, you're kind of a busy guy too, or at least
not
you
now.
were.
I was.
Or you were.
I
Yeah,
were.
yeah. So I'd imagine that was was it a half-hour show? Hour show?
An hour show.
An hour show.
Yeah.
Huh, I'll be damned. Yeah.
We had some good times. We had some classics.
Yeah.
With who's the director? The can't think of his name now.
Jason or
No, the other one.
Joe?
No. Keep going.
Brendan?
No, one more. Only one more.
Oh. Who's not here anymore?
Yeah.
And
I can't think of his
and I'm blanking on his name.
I'm drawing a blank.
Oh my
too.
God. Which I feel
boy.
badly about
Me
because
too.
I like him very much.
Me
He's a
too.
great guy. And
Me
I can
too.
picture
I got
him.
his phone number. He gave me his phone number.
I can picture him like he's right in front of me
Yeah.
and I can't remember his
Tall
name.
kid. Anyways.
Oh, I feel badly about not being able to remember his name. I'll be damned. But yeah. Oh, wow. Well, that's cool. Now, are those, can people see those? Are they on YouTube if
I don't
somebody
think
wants
so.
to check it out?
We weren't that tax savvy
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
You know, whatever Joe did. Joe or Brendan or.
Now how did Easy G?
I don't know. He kept calling in. And he kept saying I'm from Goffstown and I love sports and this, that, and the next thing. And then I knew Mikey through softball.
Okay.
I knew the coach of New Hampshire where he coaches, New Hampshire Tech.
Oh yeah.
And I just knew him through softball. And so I said to him, "Come on one day." Oh, all right. And all of a sudden we had a star.
Wow.
So.
But this was after, of course, he was AWA Tag Team Champions with Blackjack Mulligan.
Yeah.
Years later.
Yeah, that was back in his younger days when he was young and tough and stout.
That's right. Oh, Mikey's in the chat. He says Joe O'Neill is the gentleman.
No.
Oh, John O'Neill.
John O'Neill.
Mikey got it wrong.
John Eric
O'Neill.
John Eric O'Neill.
John Eric O'Neill. That's right. Yes.
Yeah. The first one didn't ring a bell, but
right.
you're right.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, very cool. Very cool.
He was always a good take.
Oh, Mikey says the 2 times that he was on your show, those are on YouTube.
Oh, they are?
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna have to look for those.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see that.
Who knew?
Yeah, I'll be damned.
Who
Yeah.
knew?
You might have more episodes on YouTube than you realize.
You're right. Neither of us are really tech savvy.
Yeah.
How long do you think you could go without touching some form of media?
Oh, it'd be impossible.
3 days?
What?
A week? Could you go a week?
Well,
you can't touch social media. You can't do it. You can't go on Facebook. You can't go on Instagram. You can't do, even though I know you got a lot of things going.
Well, that's the thing. I depend on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no.
So you're probably not a good example, but
yeah.
Talking about somebody who, I don't know, it's almost like an addiction, huh? It's like you're in. I'm not saying it in a bad way. I'm not saying addiction in a bad way. I'm just saying it's just a whole new world that some of us older guys we don't do it, so we don't know. I don't know what's in there. I don't care to know what's in there.
Yeah.
I hear the stories.
Oh, right. So you're not on
anything. I'm not on anything.
You're not on anything.
No.
You're not cloaked under a secret identity.
No.
Wow.
Nothing. I know. I don't, and it doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
I went to lunch the other day with a guy who's into it big time, and he says he hasn't been on in 2 years. He gave it up.
Oh, no kidding.
He's just sick of seeing the negative versus the positive.
Yeah.
And I guess it's too easy. Again, coming back to communication, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's too easy to write things on a computer and not look somebody in the face and have that conversation and just say, "Really, man? I don't know if that's true, or I don't believe you." Or
well, that's the thing. And here's what. I'm sure other people have told you this too, but here's what you're not missing. or here's what you are missing, but you should be glad you're missing it, is people are so nasty to each other on social media because when somebody's behind a keyboard or their phone,
right,
they'll say things that they would never say to another human being in person.
Right.
It's
how is that right?
It's
is that just part of the game?
I guess it is.
You know what I mean?
It's unfortunate.
It comes back to the communication thing. It's just, we're not communicating.
Yeah.
We all, you and I are somewhat politically different, but we're friends.
Yeah.
And so we can have a conversation like this. But I bet you I can name 10 things that I want that you want.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want a happy life? Do you want a healthy life?
Oh, yeah.
Do you want your girlfriend to be healthy?
Of course.
Do you want homeless to be off the street?
Oh, yeah.
Do you want the drug addict problem to go away?
Yes.
See what I mean? We all want the same thing.
Right.
But for some reason, we're separating ourselves from being one to fight it and being two, a D and an R.
Yeah.
And it sucks.
I think social media does exacerbate that.
Oh, I'm sure.
But then you get into that thing of, too, has social media made it worse? Or has social media just
exposed it?
Yeah. Like revealed who we really are.
You remember, how old are you?
I'm in my late 40s.
Okay. All right, Matt. You don't want to tell. Back in the day when we were growing up.
I'm 48. I mean, anybody can.
Right.
I have just a quick sidebar. I have a habit. I used to play in bands, and when I played in bands when I was younger, there was a time when you could still kind of get away with lying about your age.
Yeah.
And I used to apply what I called the 5-year differential because I could pass for about 5 years. I have good skin and I don't go out in the sun, so I could pass for about 5 years younger than I actually was. Yeah. So as I got to be
mid-40s,
as I got to be in my 30s, like my late 30s, but I'm playing with these younger people, I would kind of fib about my age. But at this point, it's pointless because it's so easy to find out how old someone is. So anyway, but that was kind of an old habit that got triggered when you asked me. I reverted to what I used to do. But anyway, I'm sorry.
Back in the days when I was like 10 years old, there was news on, and the only thing you wanted, the news would be the same on every station. It was just who you wanted delivered it to you. Walter Cronkite, this, you know what I mean? Who did your father want it delivered to you because you're in the house and your dad's watching the news? But it was all, if you flipped over, it's pretty much the same news. And now with news integrating with opinion, Fox, CNN, same story, two different stories. How can that be?
Yeah.
And that's the communication thing. I don't know who's right or who's wrong, but somebody is, because they're telling two completely different stories. I'm sure there's some that you can weave a certain way. But,
of course.
But
well, you know what they say? There's 3 sides to every story: yours, mine, and the truth.
Right. So I don't understand why we don't all put our heads together and go after these problems that we all want fixed together. You can hate Donald Trump. I don't love Donald Trump. I've said that every time I go on this show or Peter's show. Yeah. And people think I'm a full Trumper. Trump can do no wrong.
No, I've heard you criticize him.
Let me tell you, he cannot shoot himself in the foot. He's egotistic. He's got many faults. Yeah. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
But what I liked was what he did for the things, some of the things he did for the country. You know, not him. Because he just, again, saying stuff like, McCain's not a hero.
Yeah.
What an idiot.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Right.
Why don't you just, right after he said it, you can hear the gun shooting himself in the foot.
Yeah.
You know, the guy stayed in prison a year and got tortured when he could have left.
Right.
Because his father was an admiral. So, I mean, just silly.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I hate the communication difference. I wish they'd all tell the same story, sort of. Well, you can have your different twinges, but tell the same story. You know what I mean?
Well, with cable news, I think a lot of it is, you know, we talked earlier about the business of politics and how you raise money with cable news. A very successful business model seems to be to take a side, and it's kind of expanded where, see, I never had a problem with having whether it be Fox or MSNBC, where the format had been for so long, you've got the nighttime shows that are clearly opinion-based. These are not intended to be, whether it's Sean Hannity on Fox or Rachel Maddow on MSNBC, it's clear that these are opinion-based shows. These are political analysis shows where you fully understand that the person has a specific point of view, and
right.
that's clear, and no one's trying to be funny with it. It's obvious. Hannity's a conservative. Maddow is a liberal. But and some people have a problem with that. I never had a problem with that as long as there's a clear delineation. But now it's really gotten really blurred, and I think it was already a little blurred on Fox, but I'll tell you, it's really, and you might agree with me on this, it's gotten very blurred on CNN.
Yeah, they're all over the place.
Because there are shows, because what I've noticed has happened on CNN is the format on Fox and MSNBC for so long was you have the straight news shows during the day, and then in prime time you have the opinion shows, which got to be very popular and draw big ratings. But with CNN, the primetime shows, CNN didn't used to have that format, at least not on paper. CNN never really had a lot of opinion-based shows, unless it was something like Crossfire, where you had somebody on both the left and the right. But a show hosted strictly by a liberal or strictly by a conservative, CNN never had. But what happened over the course of the Trump administration is Anderson Cooper and Don Lemon and Chris Cuomo, the three of them specifically, along with their daytime anchors, started to show their bias. And, I would agree with a lot of the things they say, because as you know, I don't like Trump.
Right.
But wow, they really started to blur it.
You could say that about Fox too. You could say that.
Well, yeah,
same thing.
Fox
they started to show their hand a little bit, too much to the right.
Oh yeah,
much in the Trump pocket.
Yeah.
Versus, how about in the USA pocket? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, again, drop the D in the R, drop the CNN and Fox, and let's fix these. Let's get together and fix these problems.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think I don't know, CNN shot themselves in the foot when they should have wanted Trump to get reelected. Then they'd have another 4 years of high ratings, because their ratings plummeted when Trump went away.
Well,
Isn't that amazing? I mean, that's amazing. And the people, I don't know, either listening because they knew they were going to, people who didn't like Trump go to CNN because they know they're going to trash Trump. But when Trump went away,
yeah,
CNN now needs to, they should be taking a hard look and say, hey, we're going to get our ratings up because they're in the toilet,
Well, that's why I've always said, let's see if you agree with me on this. When people say, well, the media was against Trump, I've always thought that was a bit of a misframe. The media likes to be very critical of Trump, and I think, and I will acknowledge, in some instances, not always fairly. I think in most instances fairly, but I'm gonna think that anyway because I was against Trump. But I always said, to just say the media is against Trump, I always thought that was misframing it a little bit, because the media presented themselves as being against Trump, but in reality, look, it's a big media, it's corporate media, it's about the money.
Yeah.
And ratings went up quite a bit for both MSNBC and CNN. People like the anti-Trump stuff, and it makes money. So to say, well, I mean, they weren't against Trump on a business level. Let me put it that way. Maybe in ideologically against him, sure, and the coverage was very negative on Trump. But on a business level, you can't tell me any of the bean counters were, sitting there in the accounting office going, "Oh, this is terrible. The Trump presidency is just bad for us." No,
right.
Not when they're selling all that advertising inventory. You know what I mean? But it is a business.
So what did CNN run with mainly? Who was the big player in the 2-year Russian collusion? I don't want to get into specifics. You know what I mean? So we get into this, and people call and say, "I hate Trump."
Right.
We're not talking about that. We're talking about communication. But 2 years, we had guys like the guy from California standing. I have physical evidence, and I will bring it out if the
Adam Schiff.
Right,
Yeah.
Adam Schiff. That never appeared. Where's the physical evidence? You know what I mean? And then the IG report came out and said, really, no real thing of Russian collusion. But the FBI did make some, 10 or 11 very suspicious moves. That was in the report. And we all know that might have happened. But I don't know. So 2 years of running with a Russian collusion, how many millions of dollars could have gone towards, and then an impeachment over a phone call, then another impeachment over, I don't know, which one was first? I can't remember, with the phone call or the other thing. Oh, the quid pro quo, right?
Yeah. Well, the Democrats screwed that up. I mean, they botched it, in my opinion.
Well, they knew it wasn't going to get by the Senate. So
right. Well, I said that all along.
They did it to get it out, just get it out in front of the people. And everybody's going, people who don't dive in go, oh, he's getting impeached. He must have done something wrong, right? And that's all the Democrats wanted.
Well,
beautiful. We got it out there.
Just for the record, I think he did do things wrong, but I think the way the Democrats went about it was, I think they screwed it up.
You think on that quid pro quo? You think that?
Yeah.
How many people don't? When you're giving millions of dollars to helping countries around the world, and you call a guy and say, "Hey, can you look into this for me?" That's
a big conversation.
Yeah, we can go into that some other time.
But that's something we need to open up with at the top of the show to get in all that.
But again, let's take in consideration the Paris Climate Agreement, and all we heard on some of the I flip through at night. People go, "Why do you do that?" I go, "I just want to see what other people are saying."
Well, that's good. That's a good thing to do. Yeah.
And I'll go to CNN. I'm not a big MSNBC guy at all, but the whole climate agreement. All I heard was Trump hates the environment. He's not for the environment. He wants to kill the environment. But people never really dove into that climate agreement, where China was the number one polluter, and they were still considered in that agreement as a developing nation. Trump's going, no. You're polluting more than anybody. So you're either a regular nation and you have the same issues that we have for manufacturing and this, or we're out. And they said, well, too bad. We're going to stay where we are. And Trump said, we're out. So I don't know. Is that the worst thing in the world? He was trying to get them to pollute less, I guess, in the long run.
Well, it didn't work.
But what are you supposed to do? China was clearly
I understand what you're saying.
Polluting more than anybody.
Yeah.
And why should they have special rules in that agreement? And there was also $2.5 trillion that they had to give them for some reason. I don't know what that was all about.
I don't remember that.
That was the Obama deal. They somehow said, we'll start the agreement when you give us the $2.5 trillion back.
Oh, I don't know about that part. That's
anyways,
new to me.
Yeah, but so it wasn't about he was just trying to help China do their due diligence as far as climate goes. Did he go about it the wrong way? I don't know, but that was his intent. And the news runs with, CNN runs with, he hates forests and he wants everything to die and he doesn't care about clean water. And that's just, again, that's communication. And the same things happens the other way. I hear CNN, I'll hear something I believe from the left, and I go over to Fox, and sometimes they're twisting it a little bit. There's always the twist.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? But why is that? We shouldn't allow it either way.
Right.
It should just be news.
Right.
News. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tell the truth.
There is, do you listen to satellite radio at all?
Sometimes. Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you ever listen to, Jenny disagreed with me on this, but Bloomberg, you ever listen to the Bloomberg News Network? I like that show, Balance of Power.
Yeah. She's right about that. He is left.
He is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he ran as a Democrat.
Right.
But that show, I feel, is very that's very hard news. Like I don't detect any bias in that show.
I don't know about any.
I think that's an excellent show.
But minimal. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
But minimal. But he is definitely coming from the other side of the tracks.
Well, he is.
He threw out a lot of money.
Well, then again, he's been all over the place too. He's been a Democrat, he's been a Republican, he's been an independent, he's been whatever's convenient.
We're just
for
throwing
him.
so much money around.
Yeah.
And we're all knocking heads, and we're not fixing the problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. Oh yeah.
If you took, I say this a million times, if you took the salary of every professional player, basketball, baseball, football, hockey, and you said to them, we're going to take 10% of your pay, and it's going to charity.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be in your contract. They'd all get the same amount, just 10% less would all be equal.
Yeah.
You know how much money that would be? We're talking trillions of dollars of these contracts, which are multi-million dollar. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just crazy. It's crazy. We got veterans sleeping on the street.
I know.
You got homeless people. You got young girls, drug addicts. You got that you see walking around, and which breaks my heart the most.
Yeah.
Because I think she has some parents somewhere who think she's in a nursing school or something, and little does she know. But I don't know. It just the waste of money that could go towards mental health, drug addiction, on and on and on.
Yeah.
And then that leads to the border again, trying to stop the fentanyl from coming over the border.
Mm-hmm.
Supposedly, it's coming over in record levels. Is that what we want? You don't want that.
No, of course
I don't
not.
want that.
No.
It's getting to our kids.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's
Right.
getting to the younger generation. Nobody wants that.
Yeah.
So, again, that's one reason for the fence, but the wall. But anyways.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's my rant. I'm sticking to it. We just need to help everybody. Everybody wants to help everybody, and we'll all have a better life for it. We'll feel better. I don't know. Just help.
I think I always say, and it's a theory of, it's kind of a theory of life that I have, that, every problem, not literally every problem, but probably all of these, most of these problems have solutions out there that have been tried and shown to work. It's just a matter of finding them and having the will to commit to them. And what I mean by that is, so if you're in a city, a lot of cities struggle with homelessness. This city does. I have read online about cities that have figured out effective ways to deal with homelessness. So, I don't know if you're familiar with Tony Robbins, the motivational speaker, but he talks some of his stuff is really good. I think some of it says it's kind of okay, but he talks a lot about modeling how, if you're trying to solve a problem or you're trying to accomplish something in your life or whatever it is, you find someone who's done what you're trying to do and you try to model what they've done.
Sure.
So I always think that, well, whatever the problem is that you're trying to solve, probably somebody else somewhere has already solved it. So look at what they did and then do that.
Right.
So homelessness being an example, if we're trying to solve homelessness, let's look at what somebody else did and then do that. And I know it's not that simple.
No, but take a big piece of it.
Yeah, exactly. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Hey, it's Easy G. Great show so far, by the way. Wow.
Oh, thank you, Eric. Yes, Easy G, you'll be here tomorrow. We should mention in the first hour.
I know. Mike's going to be on the morning show tomorrow, and I'm looking forward to that show with Moose in town. Oh, my God. It's going to be good.
Mike and the Moose will be with Peter in the morning, and then tomorrow on this show, you'll be here with Amanda McCarthy and Tom in the first hour. And then
I don't know if you were listening earlier about the...
And then in the second
Peter
hour,
White was all over me about how I'm in love with Amanda McCarthy. I said, well, tomorrow we're going to get to the bottom of it. I'm going to have Amanda choose me or Tom.
Oh, boy.
Won't that be good radio, Bob?
Oh, that'll be great radio.
You may be San's guest when she hears it.
Peter says, I think she's going to choose Tom. I said, that's fine. He says, no, it's not fine. You know how he gets, when he gets in those moods.
Yeah, I mean, you're just saying.
Because you know better, but he knows how to press my buttons, I tell you.
You're not willing to fight for her, the love of your life? I don't mean fight, but, you're not willing to, or at least beg?
He was rocking with me about a friend of mine, and I asked her to be my guest at an event next month over at the Backyard Brewery. And and she got back to me on a text today saying, she puts it down as a maybe, which is better than no.
I guess.
Yeah. Wow.
But Peter, Peter, he wouldn't give it up. He said, "What's her name?" I said, "I'm going to refer to her as Mrs. X."
Yeah.
Have you considered that your friend McCarthy turns to you, starts crying, and goes, "Eric, you are the love of my life. Just what if?"
Oh, what if? That'd be great.
What would
That'd be
happen?
awful embarrassing because Tom would be in the
I
room.
know. So you put him in this bad spot, man.
Then Tom goes into the friend zone, and it's you and Amanda.
Right?
Yeah. That'd be great. I could see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was funny because they were asking a question. I think every day they ask a question on ZID on Facebook. They said, if you can't live where you are now, if you had to pick a dream place, where would it be? So guess what I wrote?
What?
Nashville.
Oh, where Amanda
He
is.
hooked. You are hooked.
Right? Why not?
Gee.
Right.
I know it's awful hot over there, but I think I could figure that out.
And by the way, wow, and that laugh in this context is not even the slightest bit creepy.
You might have a
Right,
restraining.
but I agree with Peter. She would probably pick Tom, which is fine,
What
But
do you
he
mean
said,
probably?
"No,
What do you
Eric,
mean
stop
probably? Why are you throwing in the word probably?
Peter gets when he gets on a rampage on what's going on with me and Amanda. Even though there's nothing going on, by the way.
Right.
Listen, can I give you a hint? Somebody going after somebody your age, they're looking for one of two things: a nurse or a purse. And I don't think you fit either.
Yeah, I know you've been saying that for years, Mike.
Yeah.
What if I can get both?
Yeah, I don't know. No, they're looking for you to have either be able to take care of them, or you just got so much dough that it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Which one of those do you have?
I don't know. I have some
neither.
money, but I'm not loaded.
Yeah.
Anyways.
No, but I know this girl for like 5 years, so it's not like I don't know who she is.
No. You don't want to embarrass her either, though, on Matt's show. You don't
Right,
you
because I know Texas Mike does the same thing, and
you don't want to put her on
people
the
ask
spot.
her, what's your girlfriend's name? He said, "No, I'm not giving that name on the air," which I think is good advice.
Yeah, but then he ended up giving her name on the air.
Oh yeah, you're right. I know that girl. I don't know like Texas Mike does, but I've seen her around town.
Well, I'm glad you don't know her like Texas Mike does. That would be awkward.
No, but I know her sister too. So.
Oh, she has a sister? Oh, maybe you can get with the sister. You guys can double date.
No, I don't think so.
You can have a
We're just
foursome.
friends.
Just you and another guy.
He's a lot younger than me, so.
Texas Mike is the salt of the earth.
Yes.
They don't come
absolutely.
any better than him.
Yes.
I can tell you that much.
Well, I think it'd be great though to bring a guest to the event next month, and a lot of my friends will be there. So I think it'd be a great time.
Oh, I didn't like when Texas Mike hit Dusty Rhodes with that steel chair. I didn't like that, but other than that, yeah, he's a great guy.
Did you ever consider it?
As you well know, the Matt and Mike, I haven't had too much luck with the ladies over the years.
Yeah, I know. But what if Amanda picks you and you got to get on the touring bus right away?
Mm-hmm.
Well, then I would have to get the hell out of here, I guess.
I guess so. Wow. Look at you.
Wow, I know. Would you do that?
Somebody would have to file my entertainment report.
Wow, you are what do they call it? Smitten.
Yes.
Smitten with love.
I have a feeling that's not going to happen, but it
me
makes
too.
some good radio.
Me too. How about you, Matt?
Yeah. No, you know what? I'm going to be an optimist. I'm going to bet on Easy G. I'm going to bet on my buddy.
You're getting huge odds, man.
Yeah.
I can tell you that much.
He's the entertainment reporter.
That would be a great radio if that was the case.
It sure would.
I think 1 in a million comes to
Tom would
play.
store out of here, and I would take his place.
Wow.
He's got all kinds of plans.
Eric is a musician, you know. He's a drummer.
By the way, I don't think that's going to happen. I'm just being really foolish on the radio here.
Well, that's that confidence we love, Eric. That's great. That always wins the ladies.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to the show. Oh yeah, Matt, did you get my gifts I put aside for you?
Oh, is that what these bags are?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know these were here. Both of these?
Yeah, one for you, one for Jenny.
Nice.
Wonderful.
Some fruit in there, and there's some a glass and a bottle of water. I know you like to stay hydrated.
So one bag has fruit and a bottle of water, and the other bag has toilet paper and a bottle of water.
Oh no, that toilet paper was for Peter White as a joke gift.
Oh, he didn't take it with him.
All right, well maybe he'll use it at the office.
That is so sweet, huh? Some toilet paper.
That is,
and a bottle of water.
Yes, and this nice this fruit that's been sitting here, it's nice and warm now. Thank you.
I don't know if the fruit's good. I asked him nicely to put it in the refrigerator, but I guess he forgot.
Yes, he didn't.
Yeah, it's just right
You at
here.
least get the water. I wouldn't eat the fruit because it's been sitting there all day. Matt.
Yeah, can I trade? Am I allowed to trade gifts? Can I take the toilet paper?
Oh, yeah, you can if you want, yeah.
Oh,
you need
sweet.
a roll, yeah?
Yeah, because that we'll use. We're not going to eat this fruit, but yeah, I'll take the toilet paper. Thank you, Eric.
Yeah, definitely.
Very
It
thoughtful.
would have been nice if Peter put it in the fridge, but hey, he forgot.
The toilet paper? That'd be weird. Why would
no,
you do that?
That's a nice way to put it in the refrigerator, but I guess he forgot.
the
He got on with
fruit.
his day, and he just forgot about my
Well, he's a busy
my
man.
crazy gift.
He's a busy man.
But anyway, the show's going to wrap up soon, so look forward to seeing you tomorrow, Matt. And like I said, we're going to get to the bottom of it. Either it's going to be me or Tom. Maybe we could fight for her.
Oh, that'd be great. Will you wrestle? I'd like.
Yeah, one day. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen, but
Yeah,
who knows?
Be great.
You got to bring in Texas
Oh,
Mike,
boy.
the referee.
All right, we'll see
That's
you guys.
right.
We'll see you. I'll see you. We'll see you, Matt, in about 24 hours. Okay.
All right, sounds
Bye.
good. Bye, Eric. Easy G, Eric Gagnon. Wow. That'll be
now,
exciting.
who's Tom? The boyfriend?
Tom is the boyfriend,
Oh.
and I believe he also plays drums, which is something he and Eric have in common. Did you know Eric was a drummer?
I didn't.
Yeah, apparently he was a drummer in high school, and he participated in a recital or something and fell off the stage while he was playing drums. Yeah, and
That's
then,
where it all started.
I guess that's where it all ended too,
Yeah,
because he
that's
didn't
where it
play
all
drums. Didn't play drums anymore after that, but that'll be exciting. Yeah, so tomorrow on the show, yes, in the first hour, Amanda McCarthy will be here along with Tom and Easy G. And then in the second hour, Mike Sutterth will be here for our weekly Tweakonomics segment. And we have another call. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Hey, Matt, this is Stacie Laughton down in Nashville.
Stacie Laughton, how are you?
I'm doing best I can, considering what I'm dealing with that I talked to you about. But calling on a different note, last year when I was campaigning for state rep, one of the ideas I had campaigned on, because I'm a big supporter of marijuana, its legalization for recreational and medical, and I've learned after meeting other people from other states with my live streaming. We had back in before the presidential primaries, I got the pleasure to live stream Colorado Senator Michael Bennet, and he was talking about all the different benefits, the revenues for marijuana has provided Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one of the ideas I campaigned on last year was, maybe there would be, since New Hampshire already has a great infrastructure with liquor stores, to have the liquor stores house dispensaries for the state, and maybe the state would be able to have better control over revenues and be able to do some good with those revenues. But I just got an email from a colleague in the State House who has exactly the same idea. We're part of the Marijuana Caucus, and wanted to shoot that idea out to you guys and your listeners. What do people think about if maybe the state was to legalize it and it's distributed through our liquor stores?
Well, I support legalization. I always have, but I don't know. Jenny is in the chat room. She doesn't like the idea.
No, that's just an idea, because there's lots of other things we could consider.
Yeah.
But that's why I wanted to put it out there to see, because I have not heard any public opinion regarding that. That's only been like my idea, and now I'm finding out it's also the idea of another colleague, but I have not heard from members of the public yet about that. So I wanted to shoot the idea out there, but that's also good to know, because Jenny is very, I appreciate her wisdom and knowledge on state politics. So
she says in the chat, keep your alcohol away from my medication.
I do agree with that too, because it is, because there are, I agree, it is medication. That's why I use it. Most people know I suffer from PTSD and other mental illnesses, and it's a very, very beneficial medication when used properly.
What do you think? What do you think, Mike?
I don't think it'll ever go to the liquor stores, but I can tell you this much: Massachusetts. I saw a slip about 2 weeks ago. A guy showed me a slip. He had gone down to one of the dispensaries, and I couldn't believe the amount of tax.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Huge. 3 different taxes.
Oh, no kidding.
The state gets theirs. The city gets the town, and the district or so. It's brutal.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
How much taxes they're paying.
Yeah.
And the state one figured out to a huge number. It was in the 20s. So they're getting 20-something%
Jesus.
on everything that. So it's
and I've seen that.
Yeah. So they're gonna if they ever do legalize it, which like everything else, helmets and live free or die and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
Will probably be the last.
Right.
But I think it'll go to independent. There'll be plenty of people that want to jump up and start their own little dispensaries.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And the state will just take their due.
Yeah. I would suggest too, Stacie, instead of using the word marijuana, during any kind of activism, I would say cannabis.
Yes, that's all right. No, that's no problem.
But
usually when I speak of, most of the time when I speak of medical, I use the terms like therapeutic cannabis.
Yeah,
but, that's a great piece of advice. I appreciate that.
I had a friend who died about 3 years ago. He had cancer, and they tried every drug and drip and everything they could use on him, and he told me nothing worked like smoking some cannabis.
Yeah,
nothing.
Yeah,
exactly.
To relieve him for the last 2 months of his life, he says that's all I did, and it walked me out the door peacefully.
No kidding.
And he was a good old boy, and so I have no reason to doubt him.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard that. I've actually heard, because I think too with cancer patients, and I'm not an expert in this zone, but part of the thing is some of the treatment kills their appetite, like chemotherapy and whatnot, but cannabis will actually stimulate the appetite. So
stimulate appetite, yes.
So it can be helpful that way too, in addition to the pain management.
Nausea, like that. Certain things that go away.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So nothing's been filed as far as any legislative service requests for that. And we're set to do legislative service requests in September. But I just wanted to get an idea, and I know your listeners, Matt, and your guests here. I saw him, and very knowledgeable people, and I trust the listeners of your show. So I just wanted to initially get that out there to get some ideas, because it's one thing to have an idea as a representative. But my true deal is to do exactly what the people would want. And if the people don't want it at the dispensaries, and I agree with Jenny's philosophy, keep the liquor away from the medicine. And so, cannabis, it's going to probably be legalized at some point, but it's just a matter of trying to do it the right way, I think.
Yeah, if you're looking for a lead man for the fight, I'd go to RidleyReport.com.
Ridley Report, yes, he's a good guy.
He seems to take on a subject and go hard at it.
True.
And another great advocate for cannabis in the state is our good friend Matt Simon. I know you guys up there know of him. And
he's been on the show.
What a great wealth of information and knowledge and common sense ideas. And so this conversation will probably continue for much more time to come, but it's good that we're starting to think of ideas if we're gonna if we do it, where would be best to place the dispensaries and the liquor store may not be the best of ideas, but I appreciate you taking my call today.
Oh, of course, absolutely, Stacie. Well, great call. Thank you so much for calling.
Thank you. Have a great day, everyone.
All right, take care.
All right, Stacie, take care. Bye-bye. All right, Stacie Laughton of Nashua. Yeah, just to kind of clarify what Jenny was saying, her objections, she said in the chat, the way the Liquor Commission runs now, fat chance in hell they should run anything that affects patients. I was part of an investigation into the Liquor Commission. No way they should add anything to their plate except more work against drunk driving. And by the way, she mentions too, Matt Simon is no longer with the, what was it, the Marijuana Policy Project. He now works for one of the companies. But yeah, Matt Simon, a long time ago, he was a guest on the show. I met him through Jenny. So very good. Yeah, I think we'll get there eventually with legalization.
It has a nice Connarton Doyle dispensary.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Yeah. Those dispensaries do make a lot of money, I believe.
They make a moolah.
Yeah.
Moolah.
But I think, we're in a state that's surrounded by, if you think about it, all the bordering states and Canada are all fully legal.
Yeah.
Here we are in the live free or die state, and the best we can do is decrim.
Is drive to Salisbury.
Yeah.
To do what we need to do.
We will. I'm confident that we'll get there, but it has been a frustration of mine with Governor Sununu, who I did vote for in 2020, but one of the things where I definitely disagree with him is he has gone on record saying he'll never sign legalization.
What about tax free? So do they want to? If they do it, do they want to tax it?
Yeah,
but they should, because all the other states are getting their fair share.
Tom Blanchard in the chat says if it's for medical, then they should sell it at CVS. That would be interesting. Well, we're we're almost out of time. So, Mike, thank you so much. This has been wonderful, and you're always welcome to join me. Yeah.
I'm around. So.
Yeah.
Plenty of time.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be controversial or, just wanted to just talk about things like and communicate like we talked about.
Absolutely. That's
cool. There's just not enough of it going around, man. There's just not enough.
But if you ever want to come in and be controversial, that's cool too.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's the right show for it.
You got a pretty mean chat room there. I'm not sure I want to go up against that.
Oh, that's true. Tony D, who he doesn't call the show anymore, from Philly, he used to say that our chat room, they how did he say it? They chew glass and spit bees.
Yeah, I could imagine.
Yeah.
But thanks. It was a ball.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, you're going to be on tomorrow.
Texted me, wanted to know if I wanted to come in and see with the Moose.
Yeah, you'll be on the morning show with Peter White, and it'll be you and the Moose and anybody else, or just the three of you?
No, and I think Clayton comes in all the time now, doesn't he? Or I don't know.
Oh,
I
yeah.
say that.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Kyle. Yeah, he's there every day, too.
Yeah.
So it'll probably be the four of you.
Yeah.
By the way, Mike Pelopita from Queen City Cabinetry says, great show today. Thanks, Mike. Jenny says, awesome show. Mike, help me get Trumpers to take the vaccine.
Yeah.
The Trump vaccine.
I agree. I told her about Kentucky. Remember, I mentioned Kentucky.
Kentucky, yeah.
You ain't changing them.
No, I know.
They're dug in.
It's frustrating.
They're dug in. But again, communication-wise, there's quite a bit of people that have nothing to do with Trump that aren't taking it.
Do you agree with me?
Medical, there's medical people aren't taking it. It's not all Trump.
But before we run out of time, I just want to see if you agree with me on this. Don't you think Trump should do more to get out there PR-wise and try to convince people?
Yeah.
Because there's a difference because he mentions it. He'll mention it in interviews or during a speech.
Yeah.
But there's a difference between mentioning it and selling it.
Yeah.
And Trump knows how to sell an idea.
In his defense, he went and got the shot, right? He got the shots.
Right.
So if he's getting them, then...
But he could do more.
He could. Yeah. No doubt.
Okay.
No doubt.
I thought you might agree.
With his somewhat platform now...
Yeah.
that he doesn't have because he's been banned.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But he could. Yeah.
He could.
Hannity's,
He could probably help with the ones that are dug in that I was just talking about.
Exactly.
And tilt that scale a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
No doubt.
All right. Well, thank you again, Mike. This has been wonderful.
Yep.
And thank you, everybody. If you missed any part of today's show, it'll be up in just a little bit at WMNHradio.org. And don't forget, we got a big show tomorrow. I'll be here with Amanda McCarthy and Tom and Easy G. That could be awkward, but should be fun. And then in the second hour, Mike Sudderth will be with us for Tweakonomics. And make sure you're back here bright and early, 7 a.m. for the morning show with Peter White. Mike Doyle will be here along with the Moose, and I presume Kyle Clayton as well. So, and again, I just want to make sure I get the name right. Adorned. The new sponsor here, Adorned Wi-Fi, the newest sponsor to come on board here at WMNH 95.3. So that's very exciting as well. And they're sponsoring the morning show and the station, of course. So congratulations again to Peter White on that. And that's it for us. I'll talk at y'all a little bit later. Bye, everybody.